on a 7:30 p.m. here in London on a cold Tuesday evening. Whoever scheduled this at the same time as the Chelsea game, which I've got down here, then I will. Hello, everyone at London Cryotherapy. Thanks for joining, guys. Welcome to Live Remixed Samples, the same time as a Chelsea match. I cannot believe it. But at the end of the day, we're here and we're here to talk about Live Remixed the samples. So, we like to concentrate on a chapter each week. You can watch all of these back if you go onto the YouTube page, Mark Wilkinson official YouTube page. We've been talking about all the different chapters throughout. We're on chapter 5 tonight. Hello, Ian. How are you, mate, over there on Instagram? Good, great to have you on board. So we're doing chapter 5 tonight. I'm trying not to be distracted by the Chelsea match. It's actually here. Look, here we go. It's all good. Chapter 5 is basically about I want to thank you. We've been through the first 3 chapters of Another One Bites the Dust, Good Times, Lost in Music, and then Got to Give It Up. And all of those chapters are relevant, obviously, to the story of the book, but also to the whole sort of self-development journey that you can go on and that I went on to recover my health, my happiness, my wealth, the whole 9 yards, really. I had to go on the journey because things were not working as they should. So at the end of the day, I had to make some changes. So just to give you a quick reminder as well, I've got Lewis Senior joining me tomorrow night on the Straight Talking. Hello, Studs. How are you, mate? I've got Lewis Senior from Equilibria. We're going to be talking about the E-Colors, a personal development tool, or a self-awareness tool, I should say, that I use to go from bankrupt to the board of directors in the corporate world. So really, really interesting. Lewis joining us tomorrow night. That's going to be really exciting. 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night. And I also interviewed Lorraine Hahn yesterday from CNN and CNBC. That's it, people. We're going big. We're going big. So Lorraine Hahn from Hong Kong, I interviewed her yesterday. She's huge in Asia as a presenter on CNN and CNBC. And she's going to be joining us on Straight Talking next Wednesday. So Lewis Senior tomorrow night, Lorraine Hahn the Wednesday after. And who else can I get after that? Let's wait and see. It's going to be fun. Chapter 5. Look, I want to thank you. Is the title of chapter 5 of Life Remixed. Thank you, all of those who have pre-ordered already. Just go to markwilkinsonofficial.com/shop if you'd like to pre-order the book in any way, shape, or form. It's all there, markwilkinsonofficial.com/shop. If you want to get a Christmas present in there, you want any vouchers or anything like that, or you just want to pre-order the books out in February, so end of February. So it's going to be exciting times after Christmas, that's for sure. But chapter 5 is called I Want to Thank You, and I'm just going to read a few things out from that. I know many of you watch these videos on Catch Up as well. So I always start with a few little quotes at the start of each chapter. You've heard me probably say this one before, but obviously around I want to thank you, it's about gratitude. Obviously, I was never particularly grateful when I was younger. I maybe had a little sense of entitlement, perhaps, but I wasn't the most grateful of young men, and I think I missed out a lot. I missed out on a lot of opportunities where things could have been better for me. I could have enjoyed the whole journey more. So the entire process of mental adjustment and atonement can be summed up in one word: gratitude. So again, the entire process of mental adjustment and atonement can be summed up in one word: gratitude. That's a quote from Wallace Wattles 110 years ago, I think that was written in a book called The Science of Getting Rich, which the film The Secret, which I've been watching again just recently, came out in 2006. It's on Netflix. The Secret was based pretty much on The Science of Getting Rich. It's great information, and I think it's vital that we all study and learn from wise people from down the ages. That's all I've been doing recently. Here's a great quote from Oprah Winfrey: "Turn your wounds into wisdom." I mean, if that isn't what Life Remixed is about, then I don't know what it is. At the end of the day, turn your wounds into wisdom. I heard another one very similar: your mess becomes your message. And that's true. That's true as well. It was tough times. I made a mess of quite a few different things. And at the end of the day, it's become my message to learn from that and then share the information. That's what the book basically does. And you guys can learn from my mistakes and hopefully not make the same ones. Here's a really powerful one, though. This is so powerful. If you aren't grateful for what you already have, what makes you think you would be happy with any more? Let's say that again. If you aren't grateful for what you already have, what makes you think you would be happy with any more? Let's say that again. If you aren't grateful for what you already have, what makes you think you would be happy with more? It's a good point, isn't it? It's a good question. It's a good statement and a question. What makes you think you'd be happy? Be grateful for what you've got. I heard 2020 described as our chance to be grateful for everything that we've got. 2021, 2022, we can get back to our ambitions, our big goals and everything else. But 2020 was just one of those sort of, like, they called it the accordion effect, almost like a contraction, which at the end of the day, we can just be grateful for everything we've got. And then we can go again in 21 and 22. So, yeah, I had to learn gratitude. I had to get my head around it. People said to me, can you write 10 things to be grateful for? And to start with, it was a bit of a struggle. But the more I thought about it, I just became grateful for everything. Like, I'm grateful now for the internet, that I can talk to Instagram and all of you guys over there. I'm really grateful for, my parents, or my mother, certainly, for managing to keep a roof over my head, even when I went bankrupt and at 38 years of age. I'm grateful that I've got a brain and a mind and a body that I could use and learn from, and learn with, I should say. I'm grateful for all of these things, and it makes a massive difference as soon as you start to feel this kind of like passion and this gratitude for life. As soon as you feel grateful for something, you can be comfortable because you'll receive more. It's just as simple as that. The more gratitude you've got, the more grateful you're going to be, and the more power you're going to have. So I chose family, friends, house, cars, be grateful for books and learning and all this kind of stuff. Just be really, really grateful for everything. This Take 3 journal is something that I've been talking about recently from some stable mates of mine over in the US. And they're great guys, Matt and Teal. And I've been doing this. I've been filling it out. Look, you can see I've been filling out. I've written some words in here. I'm just writing down things that I feel grateful for, things that I feel good about. It's really important message to get through to your conscious and your subconscious mind. Let me read you a little bit of this from chapter 5. In The Secret, Lee Brower says it's important to have an attitude of gratitude. But up to a certain point in my own life, I don't think I've been truly grateful for anything. At best, I'd been young, passionate, and misguided. At worst, I'd been young, negative, and self-destructive, meaning life was never as enjoyable as it could have been. Although I couldn't see it at the time, I was living in a self-imposed prison of negativity, pain, and sickness. I couldn't see it at the time. A good friend of mine said, when you're the goldfish in the bowl, the last thing you know about is water. Interesting comment. The negative mentality that I'd grown up with had kept me trapped like a prisoner or a mouse on a wheel, going round and round with no escape, no purpose, no growth, or any real achievement. Much as I was trying, I kept trying, but things just weren't going the way I'd like them to have gone. Once I'd succeeded as a DJ, producer, remix, and label owner, I didn't learn or grow or adapt any further. I did try clubs and club promoting, of course, but that was a challenge as well. And I just kept repeating the same pattern for years until eventually that didn't work anymore. The credit crunch of 2008, after the internet pretty much wiped out incomes in my level of music and DJing. So I stayed in my comfort zone at that time. Probably about 20 years. I just learned to DJ, learned to mix, and stayed in a comfort zone. It was an easy option. That's why I just kept doing it. I stayed in my comfort zone. I did try to extend myself a few times, and one of the times we'll come to later, I extended myself too far, and things went bad financially. But perhaps some of this will resonate with you. A lot of people stay in their comfort zone for a long period of time without actually stepping up or moving out. And I heard something good recently. Nothing of note was ever achieved in a comfort zone. And it's a fair point, I think. I think I proved it. But I did start to move out of my comfort zone. I did start to get myself moving forward. I started to train for the London Marathon. That was an incredible experience. Actually training for the marathon, getting myself moving after a long period of time of 18 months or more of agony in previous years. When I got to be well enough to start to train for a marathon, that was a big, big moment. And I started to feel grateful for that. One of the things that I talk more about the marathon later on in the book. One of my favorite films is The Shawshank Redemption. I actually watched it the other night on Sky Movies. But if you remember the ending, I'm sorry, I'm going to spoil it ever so slightly for you. If you haven't seen the end of The Shawshank Redemption, then probably just mute me for a couple of seconds. But Andy Dufresne escapes the hell of 30 years of prison and crawls through a river of shit. And as he falls out of the prison sewer pipe and into the freedom of the river, he opens his arms in the rain and looks up at the night sky and smiles and laughs as it cleanses him and gives him his freedom. it's a dramatic cinematic moment, but it's something that I really identify with, because I was in that self-imposed negative experiences. My life, was a struggle. I was in a hostile universe. It was not a good place to be. But when I started to discover self-development, growing, learning, and some of the strategies I'm going to be sharing with you, I started to feel some inner peace. Training, running, all this kind of stuff. I started to love myself and others. I started to feel joyful and happy and positive. And all of this start point of all of this stuff is gratitude. I learned about gratitude from Robbins, Proctor, Louise Hay, Wallace Wattles, Rhonda Byrne, so many. And if you go to markwilkinsonofficial.com/recommended reading, you're going to see a load of books in there that are really, really important. And I suggest you do go and have a read of some of the books that I've recommended there before you even get to Life Remixed in February. But as I say, the attitude of gratitude was something I needed to hear and something that I needed to try and go for. At the end of the day, sometimes it gets dark in fact, every night it gets dark before the light comes. And certainly in many people's lives, there needs to be that period of darkness before you can actually see the light again a little bit and make some changes. It happens to a lot of people. And we'll be talking to Lewis Senior about that tomorrow evening at 7:30. Most successful people have been through really hard times. I also hung on to the fact at the time that many millionaires were bankrupt in their 30s. It's a fact. Many millionaires, look it up. Many millionaires have been bankrupt in their 30s. Really interesting, because I think it takes away the fear, and then you say, well, okay, I need to do this differently because I made mistakes, so let's do it differently and try a different way. And you can bounce back very, very successfully if you do it right. Louise Hay also shares her story in You Can Heal Your Life, which is definitely worth a read. She had a time of reflection between her two careers, and that's kind of what happened to me. The music career was sort of slowing down, and I had a period of reflection where I could kind of start to think about things in a different way, read different books, study more, get myself moving forwards, but doing things in a completely different way. I was taught that there's a science of getting rich. So I was like, right, okay, there's a science of getting rich. I'm going to study it. If there's a science to it and I can follow it, then that's what I'm going to do. And it was, again, Proctor, Robbins, all these kind of guys, really, really helpful to me, certainly at that time when I was at rock bottom. There's so much information in the book. I obviously don't want to read it all the way through. It would be all night. But I certainly had some good times. I actually ended up at the end of the bankruptcy. I got offered a job in Thailand, and I went over to Phuket and worked on the radio station over there, and had a year over there recovering from the bankruptcy, chilling at the gym or chilling at the beach and the gym, and just relaxing and getting myself back, gaining my health physically and mentally again. And it was a positive thing to do. It gave me the chance to sort of reframe it. I remember laying on my favorite beach and reading all these great books and thinking, okay, life's not too bad, while I plotted my comeback, if you like. And that was important. So there's a whole story around all this, but there's 9 things that I've put in the book here that I think are things that can really, really help you. So I'll run through these 9 things for you as well. Radically change your diet. So important. For me, 20% of my ill health was certainly related to poor diet. Even after I gave up alcohol and cleaned up my act, I slipped back into a few challenges, and sugar was a big problem, I think, as well. So I cut out a lot of sugar. Radically change your diet and take control of your health. Yeah, follow your intuition. Use herbs and supplements where you need them. Obviously, find out what's going on in your own body first. Release suppressed emotions. So important. Release suppressed emotions. I'll be honest with you. I had a few to release from childhood and stuff like that. So you've got to release suppressed emotions to be in a real place of love and acceptance. Increase your positive emotions, of course. At the end of the day, I've been doing that for many years now, just increasing my positive emotions as much as possible daily. It's like a muscle, and you kind of build it up and it gets bigger and bigger. Embrace social support. Talk to your friends, talk to me, talk to other people, get some support when you need it. I think it's very, very important. And deepen your spiritual connection. You are a spirit having a human experience. is the truth, I believe, from my discoveries. If you think you're just in this little body and that's it, that's not the way it is. You have a body, you have a mind, but your spirit is where it's at. So your soul, if you want to call it that, whatever you want to call it. Evening, Jason. Thanks for being with us. Great to have you here. What I would say is that understand your spiritual connection and have a strong reason for living. And I talk a lot about purpose. So important, really important to have a strong reason for living. My purpose, I know exactly what it is. And I live to it every single day. I decided what it was and I just went for it. And it's really cool. And I just bounce out of bed every day and just have a great day and enjoy myself and then go to sleep and relax, There's lots of other strategies we could talk about and we will talk about as we go through the book. But using gratitude and the other strategies that I'm going to talk about as we go through this week by week, I sorted out all my own pain and suffering. So at the end of the day, if I can sort out my own pain and suffering, then I can help other people get over their pain and suffering as well. And that's something that I'm committed to sharing with as many people as possible. At the end of the day, no one needs to suffer. You do not need to suffer. You can enjoy this life. It's a gift. Enjoy it, and you don't need to suffer. And I can help. I know I can help, and there's a great many other people that can help as well to end suffering for people, so that you can live a great life of happiness, health, and wealth, which at the end of the day is what it's all about. I'm committed to that for the rest of my life. If you want to email me at any time as well, you can. It's just mark@liferemixed.co.uk. I'm happy to hear from you. You can connect with me on any of the socials. I'm here, obviously, 4 or 5 times a week. But we're going to talk more about gratitude and faith as we go through the book. But let's have a couple of remix opportunities. Okay, here we go. The first one is work on having a daily attitude of gratitude on all subjects at all times. Do you reckon you can do that? Do you reckon you can do that? Work on a daily attitude of gratitude on all subjects at all times. So that doesn't just mean the things that make you happy and the things that are pleasurable and that kind of stuff. It means on all subjects at all times. Can you do it? Even the things you might perceive, your beliefs might perceive are bad. Can you choose to be grateful for those things as well? Personally, I'm grateful for a disease in my life because it taught me some lessons, and I'm grateful for the bankruptcy because, again, I learned how not to do it, and now I keep learning every single day on how to be successful, and I share that. So important. Work on having that daily attitude of gratitude, and you will see changes in your life. Even if they're small to start, you'll see them. It's like little miracles, and you'll love it. Here's another one for you. Breathe deep every day. My watch sometimes tells me to breathe deep. Breathe deep, right? Breathe deep every single day. Get oxygen into your body. I heard it described brilliantly. You can go 2 weeks without food. You can go 2 days without water. You can go 2 minutes without oxygen. So what's the most important thing to have in your body every single day? Oxygen. Oxygen is more important than water and food. In that order: oxygen 1, water 2, food 3. Get oxygen in, get water, and have some healthy food. Really important to get that right, because so many people in the Western world particularly, we just eat, and we don't actually put in enough oxygen and water. Okay, remix opportunity number 3. Read, listen, study, and learn. The more you do, the more successful you'll become. Read, listen, study, and learn. I'd also like to say take action, because that is how you'll be successful. Believe in yourself, even when the rest of the world doesn't. That's so difficult. It's so difficult, but you can do it. Even when the rest of the world doesn't believe in you, believe in yourself. Sometimes it's a lot easier if someone believes in you, because then that uplifts you. I heard a great quote once that someone said, a true friend walks in when the rest of the world walks out. One of my very good friends was out with us on Saturday night, a true friend who walked in. Hey, Leslie, how are you? A true friend walks in when the rest of the world walks out. Even when the whole world was gone, I was bankrupt, I was down, I was on my knees, all basically, just metaphorically and literally, basically. I was on my knees. I didn't have anyone. I didn't have anything. I was just on my knees, and my best friend, my very good friend now, Paul, walked into my life and lifted me up. He believed in me, even when the rest of the world didn't. And that was incredible. And I thank him for the rest of my days for that. And the last remix opportunity here is what you give is what you receive. That's just your universal law. It's the absolute truth. Whatever you give is what you receive, and that can be that can be what you're thinking, what you're feeling, the actions you're taking. But whatever you're giving out to the universe is what you get back. So if you walk around smiling, the rest of the world will smile with you. If you walk around feeling good, giving love, being accepting, giving forgiveness and helping people up and giving people value and doing something good, the more you give, the more you're going to receive. It's just simple. It's simple. I wish someone had taught me it when I was younger, but maybe I wasn't ready to hear it then. At the end of the day, give out good energy, get it back, and then just live a life that's just of beauty, of love, of all the great emotions, of joy and happiness. Those are the remix opportunities. I hope you've enjoyed this evening. Hi, Wayne. How are you, mate? Yeah, out of every adversity comes an opportunity. I couldn't agree with you more. The adversity is there to teach you something. The pain, physical, mental, whatever it is there to just teach you something. And all you've got to do is be listening. So I wasn't listening for many years. I had stomach pains, I had pains in my body and all that kind of stuff. And it was only when I collapsed that was when I had to really, really listen. I didn't have any choice then. Hi, Matt. How are you, mate? I was telling you this 8 years ago. Great advice. Yeah. Hashtag things I couldn't say in the corporate world. But at the end of the day, I'm here. I'm just here now to just share this information because it's stuff that I was working towards even back then, Matt. I was working towards this. I had the vision of this book and I knew what to do. I knew that I was going to write this book. I knew that it would be good information for people. And I'm 8 years wiser now with loads more information in the Life Remixed, which is coming out in February. So it is wonderful times. As I say, we start each chapter with quotes from successful people that have made it and done brilliant jobs. Then there's a whole experience piece and all the things that I've done that you can do as well. All the strategies, all the learning, everything that's in there. And I gift it to you and say, come on, guys, you can do this, step up and let's get on with it. And at the end, we do the remix opportunities. So, turn your wounds into wisdom. Your mess becomes your message. These are all great quotes. These are great quotes. So just remember, that was chapter 5. Just remember the book's obviously coming out. You can pre-order at markwilkinsonofficial.com/shop. We're getting some great orders, actually. So I'm really, really grateful to every one of you for that. So thank you. Last night yesterday I interviewed Lorraine Hahn from CNN and CNBC, and she'll be on Straight Talking next Wednesday evening, just pre-Christmas. What a woman. What a woman. Inspirational. You're going to love this, particularly the ladies, but everyone's going to love this. It's amazing, but inspirational, moving outside your comfort zone. She's interviewed Henry Kissinger, Tiger Woods, Elton John, and now she's talking with me. Yes. So it's all good. It's all good. So Lorraine's going to be with us next week. We've pre-recorded this beautiful interview. What a woman. Tomorrow night, I'm excited to have Lewis Senior. I'm excited to have Lewis Senior from Equilibria talking about the e-colors, a self-awareness tool that has been used across oil rigs across the world. It's actually made health and safety, way more figures gone way more positive. It's reduced accidents, which has been amazing, and it's also raised productivity. If you're in business and reducing accidents and raising productivity, those two things are game changers. And Lewis Senior will be with me tomorrow evening at 7:30 p.m. where we'll be talking all about it. And I think honestly, you're going to love it. You're absolutely going to love it. Lewis is experienced. He wrote a book called At the End of the Day a few years ago, 20 years ago, actually. I read his book because it was about a physical collapse where he thought he was dying, basically. I read his book many years ago, and it gave me the permission and the understanding that I could write my book because I'd been through something not dissimilar. So Lewis is a fascinating character. I'm really excited to introduce him to you guys tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Please just watch this space across all of the platforms, Instagram and everywhere else, Facebook and LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you're watching us. We're reaching 500 to 1,000 people on some of these videos when people watch them back. So it's wonderful times. I'm really, really grateful to every single one of you for tuning in this evening. I noticed I haven't got any Chelsea fans. I also noticed that we're losing 2-1. which is a disaster. But anyway, look, there we go. Never mind. We move on. I'm grateful for the lesson, whatever it is. But it's good times. Thanks so much for being here this evening. Do watch the videos back. Do come on, join the Life Remix group on Facebook if you want to get involved in a happy, healthy community where we support one another. It's great to have you there. Hello, Grant. How are you, mate? Thanks for joining us. It's wonderful to have all you people around us. You can watch these videos back. They're all on Instagram. They're all on the YouTube. They're all on all of the feeds. You can just watch them back with your friends, tag people in, all that great stuff. I'm going to be here. I'm going to keep going all the way through Christmas and into the new year because I love the messaging and I love connecting with you all. I want you all to have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the evening. And I'll be back tomorrow evening. I might even come online in the morning, actually, at 8 a.m. and do a little Well Done Wednesday, talk about some success with you all. But definitely tomorrow evening at 7:30 p.m, featuring Lewis Senior from Equilibria, talking about the e-colours. Going to be great. See you soon.